Hello everyone! This week's segment is on dystopian media and what it can tell us about the dystopian parts of our real lives. Today we're talking about the Hunger Games. So,
Yay!
To begin, I want to raise the question, do you believe that Panem could be seen as a concept of future America?
I do. I believe it can be seen as a concept of future America considering how it reflects our social and economic society today.
Right, and things are changing so quickly in our societies, and if you look at the trends recently, I think there could definitely be a possibility of this being similar in the future.
Well, I think the ideas in the Hunger Games definitely can parallel America today, but some of these events might be slightly different or exaggerated. Sure. Truthfully, though, I think the more the years go on, the more I feel like the Hunger Games fictional story comes to ever closer reality.
I think so too. You know, in the Hunger Games, they use all kinds of biological and medicinal warfare. The original use of the Mockingjay was to spy on District 13 during the original rebellion. They bioengineered acidic mist and all kinds of biological mind control. Although it's not the same, there have been confirmations of government officials planting drugs to further ruin already struggling communities, creating further divisions and supporting the hierarchy capitalism is built on. So we know our government is not afraid of going down dirty.
That's so true, because in the Hunger Games, the sole purpose of the game was to divide the districts by putting them against each other. If they were too busy fighting and blaming each other, they'd leave the capital alone, and that would prevent another rebellion.
But do you think this could be our future?
I think maybe the movie is a message, a warning. I feel like these movies could be warning us about the danger of leaving too much power in the hands of a few.
I think so too, especially when it comes down to the government. If you think about it, mass censorship and targeted media like in these movies are used in real life. For example, army recruiters, book bans, these are all strategies given by the government to have more power.
Exactly. In the Hunger Games, we see this a lot in broadcasts from the Capitol, which usually tend to undermine extremely revolutionary or serious events or ideas happening in Panem. I feel like this really parallels the lives of America, especially in political topics.
Right, because this kind of brainwashing is in the Hunger Games is so prevalent that there are kids from career districts who train and volunteer to be a part of these games, risking their lives for fame just because they were indoctrinated into thinking that that is something to be looked up to since a young age. And also, I want to bring up that with the Met Gala recently, we can see a real life example of the Capitol. Celebrities and rich people dressing up abstractly for a show in the public's entertainment, while wars are being waged and people are dying.
And TikTok has played a huge role in covering what's going on over there. TikTok has been seen as a huge influencer to the media and a huge informational source to every country since 2016.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you. The more TikTok becomes influential to those watching it, the more it becomes dangerous for the government, which is why they're trying to ban it.
And in Panem, all of their media is censored. They have to attend reapings. The president randomly covers every screen at a time and controls what people watch.
Right. So I think it's fair to say that a dystopian future isn't the most insane thing.
In some parts of the world, this kind of behavior is already a reality. For example, North Korea, their government is based on a dictatorship, so they experience similar restrictions and controls to the ones we're worrying about today.
But to be fair, there are lots of protests all the time about everything in this country, especially student activists, our next generation of leaders. They are taking a huge role in standing up, and I'd say that this is an example of how we can grow in our lives to prevent things like this from happening.
All right, guys. So the main takeaways from this podcast are to look for resources outside the mainstream and to spread love in our world. This concludes our podcast for this day.
Yay.
We hope you enjoyed diving deeper into these very intriguing topics.
Yay! Bye-bye!